Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding, Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I don't bend over all the way during bent over rows. Now, I'm not against people that do this. If you bend over and you're actually parallel to the floor, that might be something that you find works for you. So we're going to have to go on where are you feeling those tensions and where are they exerting the most effect. And for some of us, when we bend over more, you actually, or at least myself anyway, I get less lat activation and more rear delt activation. So in these clips, I'm just showing you just for demonstration reasons of me bending over all the way or really far and doing the bend over dumbbell row. Now, a couple things come up when I do the bend over dumbbell row and I bend over all the way. What happens is I start to have to change the arc in how I pull the dumbbells because the dumbbells start to hit my legs. And then if I go a narrower stance, or if I go a really narrow stance, so that the dumbbells can clear past the legs, what happens is that then the hamstrings become slightly shortened, and then the rounding of the lower back may happen a bit. Now, if you're using super light weights, you might not have to worry about that, and that's fine. But I noticed that even if I shorten my stance and pull the dumbbells in an arcing motion like I would do with more of an upright bent over row, I feel it mostly in my rear delt. So really what I've been doing lately is I've been using this exercise as primarily a rear delt exercise. Now I know there's some guys out there and a lot of them don't even have a back, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. A lot of them don't even have back development and they talk about how you have to bend over all the way in order to get back development. And I've explained this in depth in the most misunderstood exercise. I'll put it up here or whatever, and you could check it out. But the bottom line is that when I bend over more, I get less back activation. So I'm not ego lifting when I'm doing a little bit of an angle on my bent over row, where I'm bent over, but I'm not bent over parallel to the floor. The reason why is because I find there is a happy medium, there's a sweet spot where you activate more of the meat of the back without the lower back becoming an issue and without the rear delts hitting failure long before the lats do. So you can experiment with different ranges of motion in this, experiment with different form. And you know what? Bending over all the way might be a great way for you to work those rear delts or get some sort of different activation. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes down to the bent over row, I find a lot of times people will discount altogether the bent over row that's on an angle. They'll say, oh, that's just useless or it's cheating or whatever. And the truth is that it's not. It's just that you're concentrating those forces on the meat of the back and the lats. And that is how I built, one of the bigger natural backs out there. Some of you guys might agree or disagree, but as a natural guy, I've got a pretty decent back. That's probably one of my best body parts. Money I can get for this exercise rock is staggering. I just gotta pack this shit up. I don't know how much it's gonna cost to send through FedEx, but this is the thing. This is my retirement right here. This is it. This is my retirement rock. Look. So the bottom line is this is how I did it. There's other techniques that I employ as well when I'm doing pull downs or pull ups and stuff. And I talked about that in the Secrets to Building Back video. So you want to check that out, go ahead. You don't have to check it out if you don't want to, but you could. But yeah, so sometimes I will do a bend over row all the way over when I want to hit those rear delts because that's where I'm feeling the tensions exert themselves. So this comes back to what I've said all along. If you're noticing in an exercise, one muscle group is hitting failure before the other ones, no matter what kind of idea you have in your head, guess what? That exercise is better for that body part that's hitting failure, right? That's the whole point. You're trying to basically fatigue a certain muscle group. And if one muscle group is fatiguing way faster than the one you want to hit, you're doing the exercise wrong for that purpose. Let's just say during bench presses, you want the chest to hit failure and your triceps are hitting failure way before your chest does. Well, that means you need to change your technique, change your range of motion, or change the exercise altogether until you do feel that your chest is hitting failure before your triceps do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of things that you're doing are negotiable in the gym. They're negotiable based on what is happening in your body and what you are seeing that's happening in your particular body, right? So if you're doing bicep curls, but your forearms are hitting failure long before your biceps, guess what? You need to change the technique or the exercise or the range of motion. There's something that needs to change in order for you to make sure that your biceps are getting maximum attention. Bent over rows all the way over. I feel them all in my rear delts, no matter what I do, no matter what adjustment I make in my technique. And at the same time, you might be more suited to a bent over row that's bent over further. You know what I'm saying? Because the law of individuality always takes precedent over anything else. So yeah, some people are more suited to certain ranges of motion than others, and some people are more suited to certain techniques based on their muscle insertions and their genetics and their lever arm, ratios. You know, long lower back, short arms. You know, I'm built like a tyrannosaur, so you know that can play a massive role in what I will find works for me as opposed to what might work for you. Mountain. So anyway, I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglandbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the patrons and supporters, and take care for now. I'm gonna go kick sand in some kid's face. I learned how to do that from Charles Atlas, so you know, he thought he was saying, hey, get muscles so that you don't get sand kicked in your face, but I took it as an instructional manual that when I'm at the beach, I have to kick sand in people's face. So I'll see you later.